What's going on, everybody? It's the Franz. I'm here for a Summerslam 2022 review for July the 30th, 2022. This was 1000% felt like a post Vince McMahon pay-per-view, but they're not up to where they want to be just yet. This was probably the best pay-per-view in WWE that we have seen in a very, very long time. The show started off hot with a Women's Championship match for the Raw side, in which Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch killed it in the first match, and then we had a return and two main roster debuts as well, and another return to the company, someone who was recently fired. So we'll get in on everything on that. Also, we had Logan Paul making his in-ring singles debut against The Miz. That was it didn't exceed all. It was good. Logan Paul, like, I'm just gonna say this right now. Love Logan Paul or hate Logan Paul, you have to respect what Logan Paul is doing, what Logan Paul does out there. The dude respects the business. The dude goes out there and gave us one hell of a match against The Miz. What happens from this, I don't know. Also, Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory, the Street Profits versus the Usos, the SmackDown Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Liv Morgan, which, very disappointing match, very, very good ending though, we'll talk about that as well. And then in the main event, the single biggest clusterfuck in a good way, World Championship Last Man Standing match I have ever seen in my life. I have no idea. The first half of the match, we'll talk about it, is that Brock Lesnar dominated Roman Reigns from the off. But when it got to that second half, holy shit, what the hell? All I'm going to say is it involved the Tractor, the Usos, and Paul Heyman. Holy shit, what a show ender that was. We'll talk about that as soon as we get to it. But we start off with the Raw Women's Championship. I'm really surprised they didn't want to play into, which I know they did at WrestleMania, where Becky Lynch looked like she was going to try and win the match in 26 seconds or less. They didn't do that here. They could have, would have been just fine if they did. But they decided not to, which is, I guess that's fine. It's fine. It's whatever you want to do, it's fine. These two women went out there. This is one of those matches, like, it started off sloppy. And by the end of it, it was a really, really good match. Let's just say that right now. These two women went out there and were like, we're going to go show you that we should be up in the main event. We shouldn't be opening the show. In the end, Bianca Belair, beautiful ending. This match had a beautiful ending. Bianca Belair is up on the ring top. Becky Lynch is trying to do a manhandle slam from the middle rope to Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair stops that, hits a Spanish fly into the KOD. 1, 2, 3. She picks up the win. Now, the match is great. The match was good. Nobody's going to be talking about the match because what happened after. Well, first, Becky Lynch puts her hand out. She wants to shake. Bianca Belair, justifiably so, hesitant to shake her hand. Eventually does, but Becky comes in, gives her a hug. They hug. Becky says a couple words to her, gets out of the ring. Bianca gets on the top turnbuckle and holds the championship up when all of a sudden, Bayley's music hits. She walks down the ring, down to halfway down. She says something like, hi, Bianca, did you forget about me? When all of a sudden, new music hits, and out walks Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai, as we know, was unceremoniously fired after weeks of being brought up to the main roster to work dark matches to have Vince McMahon have a look at her to see what she would do, and Vince McMahon going, yeah, no, we're good, we're going to get rid of you. So, it is great to see Dakota Kai back, but that wasn't all. Next coming out, Io Shirai. Now, we get Io coming out, great moment and everything, but for whatever reason, at the time, Corey Graves keeps calling her Io Sky. And I'm asking myself, why are they saying Io Sky? Why do they keep saying Io Sky? Well, it turns out that her name is no longer Io Shirai. She is going to be Iyo Sky on the main roster. I fucking hate it. Why can we not call her Io Shirai? Is that are we still going to keep that practice of changing everybody's name who comes up from NXT? What is wrong with Io Shirai? Not a fan of it at all. But it's great to see, and then you have the dumbasses who have no brain cells whatsoever on social media, like, the dirt sheets are wrong again! The dirt sheet said she was on her way out! Think about this. Why would Io be out of WWE up until a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago? What happened a week ago? A week from yesterday. What happened? I can't put my finger on it. What happened last week on Friday? Oh, would it have something to do with the fact that Vince McMahon retired from WWE? The fact that Vince McMahon said, yeah, I'm out because if I don't get out, then we're going to be fucked over and a bunch of other things? Yeah. If Vince McMahon... Here's the thing about this pay-per-view for sure, with just this segment here. With Vince McMahon, this segment does not happen. The match happens, whatever, maybe they get less time, who knows. But this match, the aftermath of this match, outside of possibly Bayley, does not happen. This, apparently, this group of of Io Shirai, Io Sky, whatever the fuck you want to call her, Dakota Kai and Bayley was pitched to Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon said no. Then they had to okay, well, fine, we'll do Alba Fire, okay, aka Ailey Ray and whoever else. And Vince McMahon again said no. So this was definitely something that Triple H wanted to do or give a shot at, and Vince McMahon did not. Obviously, out of everybody that Triple H was going to bring back to WWE, it was going to be Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai did not get a single chance to go to the main roster. She just said she was brought up and unceremoniously fired because Vince McMahon wants to have women who could be sexy and appealing and wear underwear, come out walking around in their underwear. And I'm Triple H, as soon as Triple H got back in power and got head of talent relations, I bet you 100% he was on the phone with Dakota Kai. Listen, we want you back. I want you here. We're going to do this. This idea was great. Vince didn't want it. I do. We're going to do it. Io was out of the company. She was done. She was going to leave. She wasn't going to sign back with WWE because Vince McMahon had zero plans for her on the main roster. That's a fact. She was too old for Vince McMahon. She was too, it's why do they need another female Asian on the main roster when they got Asuka? Why would they need to bring another one up when Asuka fills that quota for them? Here we are now. Io Shirai, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai with Bayley. They enter the ring. Bayley is talking trash, saying, you think I was going to come back by myself? You think I'm stupid like that? When all of a sudden, Becky Lynch, who got out of the ring to give Bianca her moment, comes back in, stands side by side to Becky. Becky and Bianca both do the bring it on pose to them. And Bayley's like, no, we got this. We got what we came for. We showed them that we're going to be the new bitches and badass bitches in town. And there was that. So, this is great. Name change or not, just having these three women on Monday Night Raw, my God. Monday Night Raw, you got Asuka, you got Bianca, you got a new babyface Becky Lynch, about fucking time she went back to being a babyface. You got Bayley, Io, and fucking Dakota Kai. That's 6 women right there. If they could get the superhero shit off of Nikki, that's Nikki Cross, get Piper Niven her name back, that's 8 fucking women. And then you look at the SmackDown roster and you got Shotzi might be getting some time now. Liv Morgan is SmackDown Women's Champion. We'll talk about that here in a bit. And wow, that was a disappointing match. And Natalya, Shayna, Ronda, Like, the women's division, honestly, is looking like on both brands are going to be getting a lot more love and care, as it should. I don't want to see 2-minute matches for women anymore. If you're going to have your women's wrestlers on television, they need to have 10 minutes minimum. I do not care what you have to do for these women. They deserve better than what they have gotten. Match was good. The post-match segment, I was like, this, and if I'm correct, this entire thing, from the match to everything afterwards, was the first 30 minutes. We didn't get a video package. We started this show off with the opening thing, and then we went straight to the match. 15 minutes for the match, and then this whole thing felt like it took another 15 minutes. So the first half an hour of this show was dedicated to the women's division. Great. Change is a coming, and this proved it tonight. Logan Paul versus The Miz with Ciampa and Maurice. This was really a good match. Logan Paul has, like, you can love this guy, you can hate this guy. This guy has given YouTube, like, back in the day, gave YouTubers bad names, made everyone, like, hate YouTubers and not be too happy on YouTubers. This dude, him and his brother, had some very bad reputations for who they are. But this dude, in 2 matches, has been by far the best celebrity to come in and wrestle in WWE. I know we had Bad Bunny last year, but this dude is Bad Bunny times 10. This dude went out there at WrestleMania. Him and Miz killed it against Mysterios. That was a great match. This was another good match. He hit a fucking frog splash from the top rope to the turnbuckle, to the announce table, outside, onto the Miz. Went inside. Maurice tried to get involved. Ciampa got ejected early on in the match because he was trying to get involved. Maurice tried to get involved. That backfired, and Miz gets hit with the skull crushing finale for the 1, 2, 3. And this dude, like Logan Paul, I know everyone doesn't want to see him every single week. And I know we're not going to see him every single week. He's going to be a special attraction, as he should. But dude went out there and killed it again. If they wanted to give the guy a U.S. title run, it wouldn't put it past them to do it, because the dude is... And yes, I saw somebody say that people need to respect him more. And I'm like, you keep having Logan Paul go out here and do this, people are going to respect him. Because, like, just going out there and having a great match, a good match after good match after good match after good match every single time, great match too, whatever. People are going to have no choice but to respect what he does in the ring. You might not like him outside of the ring. You might not like what his attitude or who he is or what he does. But the dude went out there and just gave you a damn good match. That's all you have to say about that. So, moving on here. United States Championship match, Theory versus Bobby Lashley. This match was short, sweet, to the point. Theory tried to get some offense in. Bobby Lashley dominated the entire match. Put him in the hurt lock. Made him tap out. Match lasted 4 minutes at the most. Obviously, Theory wants to come in and cash in later to win the WWE Championship. Spoiler alert, he does not. Get to that later. But I can see why this match was short, sweet, and to the point, because if I want to go cash in on Roman or Brock, depending on how the match ends up in the later on the night, and let me tell you, that match was something else, but we'll talk about it later. I wouldn't want to, if I don't have an open opportunity to take out Bobby Lashley and get this match over quick, I'm going to just get put in the hurt lock and tap out immediately so I could be somewhat fresh going into the main event later in the night. So, Bobby Lashley retains. That was that. The Judgment Day versus the Mysterios, no disqualification match. I fucking hate this. This was a Vince McMahon booked match if I've ever seen one. The match was a no disqualification match. Outside of the first 35 to 45 seconds where both teams were beating the hell out of each other in the middle of the ring, why was this not a fucking tornado match? We have these guys sitting on the ropes, one man in, one man out, acting like a normal tag team match. No! Why did we get one fucking chair the entire match? I'm just sitting here like, why are we having these guys sit here waiting for tags? It's a no disqualification match. Rey Mysterio could come in and the referee can't say, no, you gotta get out, 1, 2, 3. No. It was a no disqualification match, and you're gonna book it like a normal tag team match until Finn Balor gets a chair in the ring for a moment. Oh my God, I fucking hate that booking. I hate it. Ugh. So, the match was going fine. People were still wondering if Dom's going to turn. Dom's not turning anytime soon. He didn't turn in this match. So, the Judgment Day get the upper hand. Finn Balor wants a chair from Rhea Ripley to get him a chair. All of a sudden, new metal music starts playing up. I have no idea whose music it was. The stairway was like shooting fire out and everything. All of a sudden, up from a platform comes Edge with a red jacket on, fucking blade-like shades, short hair, shorter than what he had when he was got kicked out of the Judgment Day. Comes down to the ring, kicks Damian Priest in the aisleway in the face, hits a spear on Finn Balor, hits a spear on Damian Priest. 619, 1, 2, 3. The Mysterios pick up the win, and Edge sits there and laughs at the entire thing as the Mysterios pick up the win. Nothing else to it. I just sit there and I'm like, why are we getting a normal fucking tag team match? It's no disqualification. Oh, now you remember it's no DQ when you have Balor get a chair that Rey Mysterio ends up using on Damian Priest. Why can't you? If you're going to do a tag team match and call it no disqualification, it automatically should be turned into a tornado match. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Pat McAfee versus Bomb Ass Corbin. So, Baron Corbin's coming down. His music's playing. He gets halfway down the aisleway. All of a sudden, his music stops, and all we hear is Bomb Ass Corbin. Bomb Ass Corbin. And a men's choir is lifted up on this platform as they are chanting, or they're singing Bomb Ass Corbin. Bomb Ass Corbin. And then they stop doing that and they get into Pat McAfee's official WWE theme. If it ain't Seven Nation Army, you couldn't get the White Stripes to do Seven Nation Army live. Come the fuck on. Seven Nation Army was great at WrestleMania. I wish they could get the licensing fee for that, but I'm pretty sure it's very, very expensive. This match, compared to the WrestleMania match, was sloppy. I don't know what it was, but these two, just the connection wasn't there. Pat McAfee wins with basically Corbin goes for the end of days. McAfee reverses it, pushing him into Charles Robinson. McAfee waits for him. Corbin turns around, kick to the dick, just like he did to Pat McAfee on Friday. He goes up top, hits him into a code red, a busted up looking code red. 1, 2, 3, off the turnbuckle. Pat McAfee picks up the win. And that was that. So, McAfee is 2-0. Well, 2-1, I guess, if you want to count the Vince match, which nobody should count that Vince match. That has been stricken from the record books. We had an appearance by Drew McIntyre. Talks about his love from Nashville. He gets some kid by Colt, I think it was, name, chanted by the crowd. Good on him. That kid's going to remember that for the rest of his life. He says it's worth it. And he says he has a shot at the championship, and then he jokes about the fact that Roman and Brock have wrestled each other so many times before. The main event will be a battle, but Clash of Castle will beat the ass of them and take their title. Undisputed Tag Team Championships, Jeff Jarrett as the special referee. The Street Profits versus the Usos, and I was expecting a certified banger compared to what they did at Money in the Bank. We didn't get that. The match was fine. The match was decent, but nowhere close to what they did at Money in the Bank, and that's a shame. If you would have flipped these two matches and had this one at Money in the Bank and the one they had at Money in the Bank tonight, I would have said, damn, they outdid themselves for Money in the Bank, but this just wasn't it. I don't know what they were doing, what it was, but it's just like Jeff Jarrett called it down the middle. Jeff Jarrett called it down the middle. And there was a moment where one of the Usos almost kicked him again. Jarrett caught it this time, spun him around. Dawkins with the spine buster, tags in forward with the frog splash, but hurt his ribs, so he had to jump. He jumped up from this, bounced away, and he had to come back over and get a 1-2 kick out. He eventually gets thrown over the barricade, allowing Dawkins to eat the 1D, 1, 2, 3, and the Profits and the Usos retain the championship. No dirty tricks, no chicanery. They both got, like, Jeff Jarrett was right down the middle, nothing else. It's just, we've been spoiled with FTR and everything they've done in tag team wrestling, and then these guys. It's not like this is the first time these two have had a tag team match against each other on pay-per-view. They had the match at Money in the Bank. That was their bar. You have to go past that. If you don't want to compare it to any other tag team wrestling match you've seen this year, they had a bar, which was Money in the Bank. They needed to surpass that, and they did not do that. It's a shame. These two teams, I know, can go out there and fucking kill it. What happens now with the tag team championships? I do not know. The Usos won absolutely clean. There was no chicanery, no fuckery. They didn't pay off Jeff Jarrett at the last minute or something. They won clean. Now, after the match is over, Usos leave with the championships. We do focus on the Street Profits in the ring, sitting down on the ring. And you can just see the anger. Like, Dawkins looks disappointed. Disappointed that they lost. Man, we just barely had him. We had him. Montez Ford, on the other hand, you could just see he was seething. He was pissed. That should have been their win. They should be tag team champions. He knows it. The turn is coming very, very soon. Montez Ford is going to turn on Dawkins. And it's going to be something interesting. Riddle appears in the middle of the ring after we see Kid Rock in the middle, Kid Rock behind the barricade watching the show, making out with some fat-faced pig from South Nashville, Tennessee. He says he doesn't take crap from anybody, as his buddy Randy Orton told him since he's told he wasn't medically cleared. He tells Seth Rollins to get his ass out here right now. Despite the fact that the authority figures try to break it up, the two men start brawling. He gets hit with a stomp. And that was that. They're building this to Clash of the Castle. I know a lot of people are disappointed because they all thought, what is Seth Rollins going to do? Oh my God, the Fiend's coming back. He's going to lay out Seth Rollins and take him on. Oh my God, we're going to have Johnny Gargano make his WWE return and take on Seth Rollins. We're going to have this person come. Y'all look fucking stupid now, don't you? You are absolutely assured you thought Seth Rollins was going to have a match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do we not have a pre-show panel that goes over every single match on the card? They did not one time on that pre-show talk about Seth Rollins having an open challenge. They didn't have anything said about Seth Rollins. So why in the motherfuck does anyone expect Seth Rollins to have a match when they never advertised anything? Yes, Seth Rollins could have come out and said, I was supposed to be on this card, I want a match with someone right now, but they didn't do that. So, why, and that's another thing. Why, if they're building to Seth Rollins versus Matt Riddle at Clash at the Castle, why would you have Seth Rollins come out here and have a match instead of feud with a Johnny Gargano, or a Carmelo Hayes, or a Bray Wyatt? Why would you want to have any of that stuff? It makes no fucking sense. People, use your fucking heads! The weakest match on the show was Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey. This was basically Ronda Rousey beat the living shit out of and dominated this match from start to finish. Like, this match was bad. Ronda Rousey just... We know that we've had a turn once tonight. Becky Lynch is babyface again. Thank God she is, because she was not she's never should have been a heel. Ronda Rousey teased us with the heel turn last night when she told her fans to shut up and their mom failed them. Tonight, she pretty much dominates this entire match, even though Liv Morgan refuses to give up. Now, Ronda Rousey had her in a submission the same way I believe she made Natty tap out at Money in the Bank, where she had her up and, like, she had her in the armbar, but she was down, and one shoulder was on the mat, and, like, Liv Morgan was up, and she was pulling. Liv Morgan was able to maneuver Ronda Rousey to her shoulders on the mat. 1, 2, Liv Morgan taps, but the ref doesn't see it. 3, Liv Morgan retains by the skin of her teeth. And Ronda Rousey, pissed, yells at the referee, pissed off. She knows, she felt the tap because she tapped on, Liv tapped on Ronda's leg. She tapped on Ronda's leg. Ronda could feel the tap on her leg. She's pissed. She attacks Liv Morgan, beats her up, puts her in the armbar, fucks her up some more, then takes the referee, takes him down, puts him in the armbar as well. Ronda Rousey is a heel, as she should have been from day one, but of course, Charlotte 9000, which we got a beautiful looking video package on her, so obviously she's coming back very, very soon. And yeah, Liv Morgan retains, and she's going to keep the championship going in the Clash at the Castle, where she probably will lose it. We have Kane, a politician, come to the ring. He was already in the ring when we came back from a video package. They had a politician, Glenn Jacobs, come out and inflate the numbers by 10,000. If you're going to have somebody go out there and lie to the fans, you go bring a politician in. Just saying. Universal Championship, Undisputed Championship match, last man standing, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This is the damnedest match I think I've ever seen. This is the damnedest match I've ever think I've seen. Roman Reigns comes down first. You're wondering, why is Roman coming down first? Well, one, so he could do his Nashville Summerslam acknowledge me shtick without Brock being there. And second, because Brock Lesnar starts walking down to the ring, but stops. Turns around, walks over, there's a fucking tractor in the arena. And it has his flannel and his cowboy hat. Puts on the flannel and the hat and drives this motherfucker to the ring. Lifts up the bucket thing, or whatever the fuck you call that front part, up, climbs on top of it. Microne's about to do his introduction. He tells him to shut up, does his own introduction. Roman Reigns then gets his introduction. As he's holding up both championships, Brock Lesnar does a dive onto Roman, and the match starts, and Brock Lesnar dominates the first half of this match. He beats this guy pillar to post, destroys him. Roman Reigns can't get out of the gate. He's getting beat down. It's like, man, they are letting him beat the shit out of Roman Reigns. Roman keeps getting up, to the point where Brock Lesnar takes Roman Reigns, puts him in the bucket, the front part of the tractor, lifts it up, and dumps Roman Reigns out of it. Then, Roman gets up again, and Brock Lesnar says, you know what, fuck this shit, takes his tractor, lowers the bucket thing, pushes the fucking ring at least a foot back. He pushes the ring back, adjusts himself, gets the thing under the ring and lifts the ring up. The referee got out, but Roman Reigns still in the ring. The ring gets lifted up. He keeps it there, and Roman Reigns tumbles out. After this happened, the Usos come in, and Roman Reigns starts dominating and starts beating the shit out of him. Roman Reigns' tower, Brock Lesnar's tower. Here comes Austin Theory to try and cash in. He's a second away from cashing in. Brock Lesnar picks him up and F5s him. Theory is dead. So Roman Reigns does everything he can to keep Brock Lesnar down, but Brock Lesnar keeps getting up. He even takes the Money in the Bank briefcase, smacks Theory on the back, beats up Brock Lesnar with the briefcase, and he continues to get up. Hits him with the belt, continues to get up. Hits him with the other belt, he continues to get up. Roman Reigns then beats this guy down. So him and the Usos take everything. Oh yeah, by the way, Paul Heyman got hit with an F5 through the announce table, which was rebuilt for this match. They take all the shattered pieces of the announce table, stack it on top of Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns steps on top of that, and the referee counts down to 10, and Roman Reigns retains over Brock Lesnar. This was the damnedest thing I have ever seen. The visual of the ring being up on its side because it's being held up by this tractor. My goodness. I don't know what I sat there by the time it was over, like, what the hell did I just watch? This was the best this was the best match that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have put together since WrestleMania 31. This was not a carbon copy of every other match they have done. You can definitely tell this was definitely not produced by this was probably not produced by Michael Hayes, who I believe has produced every other one of their matches, or it was Pat Buck, because Pat Buck is in AEW. And this match was fucking great. This match saved the second half of the show. Everything after Logan Paul and The Miz, downhill. This show is better than everything we've seen from WWE this year, but it's not better. It's like the show overall. This was not a perfect pay-per-view at all. AEW hasn't had a perfect pay-per-view this year. Ring of Honor's 2 pay-per-views were not perfect this year. And New Japan shows are not perfect. No pay-per-view is perfect, but this was far from being close to perfect. Match of the night was, of course, the main event. The second match of the night was definitely by far the women's match. The top 3 matches of the night were Roman versus Brock, Bianca versus Becky, and Logan Paul versus The Miz. I hate to say it, I want to see more Logan Paul. I want to see Logan Paul Clash of the Castle. I want to see Logan Paul at Survivor Series. I want to see Logan Paul have a showing in the Royal Rumble. I want to see Logan Paul at WrestleMania. I think the dude has what it takes to have a nice size run in WWE. How much will he see? How much will we see? I do not know. Where does Logan Paul go from here? I do not know. Oh yeah, by the way, AJ Styles took Ciampa out. That's why he disappeared. Because AJ Styles got on the card by beating up Ciampa, which I'm sure we're going to get a match between those two tomorrow on Monday, which will be fine. Overall, it would say this would be a C+ show, B- at best. Like I said, everything between Logan Paul and The Miz and the main event was either to but that is your SummerSlam review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Follow me on Minds The France Club, follow me on twitch.tv/The France Club, and follow me on Instagram The France Club. And I'll see you guys on Monday. I'll see you about Monday, depending on how well it goes. Monday or Wednesday. Until then, my name is The France, and I'll see you guys later.